Namaste everyone, this is Rachel, owner of Tirana Yoga here in Tirana, Albania, and international teacher trainer. Thank you for joining me for this practice. This is actually one of my favorite practices to practice personally. We work quite a bit into side bends, so this is one of my favorite movements in the body, especially if you're sitting, if you have a tight lower back or any lower back pain. This is one of my favorite ways to work into either the quadratus lumborum in the lower back as well as the obliques and the front of the body. So hope that you enjoy, and we'll start immediately. Reminder, this is an advanced practice for those with some years of prior experience and physical practice with a personal teacher. So go ahead and arrive at the front of your mat, standing in Tadasana. Palms together in Namaskara at the chest. And allow yourself a bit of curiosity and playfulness in this practice as we will explore some more challenging postures of seated compass pose, Surya Yantrasana, as well as Viśvamitrasana, our side plank variation, and option for Maksikanagasana or Grasshopper Pose. So allow yourself some lightness, some easiness as we flow. Allow yourself to connect a little deeper to your breath as you start to draw the navel back towards the spine, up towards the heart, Uddiyana Bandha, and moving into Ujjayi breathing. Let the hands rest alongside the body, coming into Tadasana mountain pose, opening the eyes. As you inhale, send the arms up, palms together, look up. As you exhale, slide the right hand to the thigh, lean the body over towards the right side into your side bend. Together, look up. As you exhale, left hand towards the left side, lean the body towards the left. Allow your hips to shift a little to the opposite side to deepen that bend. Inhale back to the center, palms together, look up. And as you exhale, swan dive forward, folding the body forward into your forward fold, forehead towards the shins. And take a moment if you need. Otherwise, inhale, find your flat back, come up to the fingertips or hands to the fronts of your shins. Shift the weight forward towards the balls of your feet and pull the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Stronger through the belly, navel towards the spine. Holding here, engaging the back of your body. Send your sitting bones towards your heels. And then as you exhale, fold forward one more time. Inhale, find your flat back one more time. Exhaling this time, start to bend the right knee towards the right armpit and then alternate. Start to take a walk in place. If you can, try to straighten the opposite leg of the knee that you're bending, otherwise a little bend through both knees. Keep the gaze forward towards the front of the mat and really try to connect your knees towards your armpits. If that feels okay, try to rise up to the tiptoes of both feet, balancing on your toes and your fingertips. Gaze forward, belly in and up. Breathe in. As you exhale, heels back down. Step the feet back to your high plank. Keep your big toes together, and we start to keep the hands grounded as we twist. So inhaling, heels to the left. Exhaling, heels to the right. Inhale over the toes to the left. Exhaling, twisting to the right. So you inhale back to the center, slide the body forward, shoulders over the fingertips, knees down if you need. Otherwise, slowly lower all the way through your push-up and to the floor. Pausing into our baby cobra, chest lifts and hands lift. Keep pressing from the tops of your toenails. Make sure the toes are pointed, knees are lifted, activating the spinal muscles. Holding here. Exhale, bring the hands back down, the forehead down. You can slide your hands a little more forward, coming into a twisted cobra. Inhale, twist to the right. As you exhale, twist to the left. Letting the shoulders move with you as you twist, and the head. Inhale back to the center, pull the elbows back, send the heart forward, breathe into your neutral cobra. And as you exhale, forehead down. Take the hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press the pubic bone to the floor. And at the bottom of your exhale, press through high plank and send the hips back and up to your first downward dog. First downward dog, feel free to bend both of your knees. Bicycle the feet in place, press the heels to the ground, twist through the shoulders, the neck, the head. Whatever feels organic in your body, use this time to take any movement that feels natural, starting to open up through your joints and heat and warm the muscles. One more inhale. One more exhale. Rising to the tiptoes, look forward. Step your right foot and then your left to the front of the mat into your flat back. Inhale. Exhale, soft knees as you bring the forehead down to your shins. Inhale, circle the arms around, reverse swan dive. Palms meet, eyes up. Exhaling, hands back beside the body into your mountain pose. Second side bend. Keep yourself at the front of your mat. I'm just demoing here. So inhale, palms together. This time, take the opposite wrist as you move the body to the right side. So right hand holds the left wrist. Press the left palm towards the wall beside you. Try to keep your arms squeezing towards your ears. Inhale back to the center. Switch your grip. Left hand around the right wrist. Moving the body over to the left side. Let your hips displace a little to the right. Belly in and up. Arms in, squeezing towards the ears. As you inhale back to the center, palms together. Send the head back slightly behind the arms. And then slide your arms behind your ears. A little back bend, a little wiggle through the upper back. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a flat back, fingertips underneath your shoulder line. Kick your right heel back like a warrior 3. Stay here. Those of you that are comfortable on your hands, you can go ahead and float up into an L-shaped handstand. So if you're just kicking the leg back, try to stay there for 3-4 breaths. Little hops if you're on your hands or holding that L-shaped handstand. Good. Step the right foot long to the back, left to meet at plank. As you exhale, bend the elbows through your Chaturanga. Inhale, slide over the toes, upward dog. And as you exhale, tail to sky, downward facing dog. This time a little more stillness in the shape. Find the shape of the hands, the feet, so everything aligned with your joints. And imagine that you're tearing your mat in half so that as you start to drag your heels backwards, the hamstrings activate, active stretching. And then armpits roll towards the lower ears and we push the hands to the front of the mat. So the back body is active, the back of the legs are active. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Inhale, rise to the tiptoes, eyes forward. Step the left foot and then right front of the mat, flat back. As you exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle the arms back and around, palms together. Look up. Exhale, hands beside the body into your Tadasana. Again, stay facing the front of your mat. I'm just demoing. Take the arms the same as before. Right hand around the left wrist, but this time we circle the left leg around and over to the right edge of the mat. Stretching through the whole side of the body into the side glutes and the IT band. This is one of my favorite stretches. So find where you feel the deepest intensity. Inhale back to the center, switch the grip of your hands, left hand around right wrist, right knee up, circle it around to the left edge of your mat. Come into the side bend. The front knee bends and the back leg stays straight. Shift your weight a little, move your hips a little to where you feel your deepest intensity. Inhale back to the center, palms together. Little back bend again, chest up, arms behind the ears. Exhale, fold down and forward. Inhale, find your flat back, fingertips under the shoulder line. Left leg kicks back. 3 to 4 breaths here, or flat hands. Try not to jump. Try just to rock your weight forward into your hands, into that handstand shape if you're working on your hands. 2 more breaths, any version that you're in. If you're staying with the feet down, kick through the left heel, but try to pull the hip, the leg bone back into your hip socket so your pelvis starts to level and you're holding controlled with pelvic stability. As you exhale, step the feet back, or if you're up on your hands, shoot the feet back. Land in Chaturanga, bending the elbows. Inhaling to your upward facing dog. And as you exhale to your downward facing dog, we're going to do the same movement in the legs as we did in standing. So breathe in, rise to your tiptoes. As you exhale, hips and heels over to the right side, twisting. If you're deepening, step the left leg back right away. Bend the right knee and press your stomach towards your right thigh. Coming up onto the left fingertips as you roll the armpit towards your ear. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, hips and heels to the left, twist. Stay here or Step your right foot behind your left, bend your left knee, really press the belly to your thigh. Inhale back to your center. Exhale, push the heels, active push down to the floor. Rising up to your tiptoes, bring your big toes to meet. Right leg lifts, inhale. As you exhale, knee to your nose, rounding forward to your plank. Not making a sound, step that foot to the inside of your right hand. Bring your back knee down. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana, inhale the arms up. Same movement in the arms as in standing. Right hand holds the left wrist. Move the body towards the right side into your side bend. Keep your right hip pulling back, your left hip pulling forward. You can stay here. If you feel strong in that back leg, point your toes and lift the back knee with the toes pointed. So it really requires a lot of stability in the pelvis to do this. Exhale, release the back knee down. Release your hands, palms together or cross your thumbs. Lifting into the back bend. Take a little twist through the upper back, through the thoracic spine as you shoot the arms to the wall behind you. One more inhale, lift from the back of the heart. And as you exhale, release the hands down to the floor. Keep your left hand grounded, lift the back knee, find your twist first. Right arm up to the sky. And then look down to transition. Step your right foot back into your side plank, arches of the feet together. Moving between our oblique side plank. As you inhale, arc your spine as deep of an arc as you can. As you exhale, back to a straight line. Inhale, arc the spine, lift the right side of the body. Exhale, back to neutral. And this time, inhale, arc your spine, reach your right arm forward to the front of the mat. And as you exhale, ground that right hand, shift the body forward, bend elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale to your Adho Mukha Svanasana, left side. Big toes to meet, left leg up into the air. Inhale. As you exhale, knee to your nose, round, lift through the hips and the belly. Step that foot forward to the inside of the left hand. Take the back knee down to the floor. As you inhale, sweep the arms up into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Left hand holds the right wrist, right palm to sky. Lift, press through that palm. And as you exhale, tip the body to the left side into your side bend. Try to keep your shoulders in one line, your front hip bones in one line. And if you're strong, ground the back toenails and lift that back knee with the toes pointed. Keep pulling that left hip back and right hip forward to keep the pelvis stable. As you inhale, back to the center, palms together, hook thumbs. Little wiggle through the chest. Send the back of the heart up, eyes up. Hands to the wall behind you. Breathe in. As you exhale, plant your hands. Right hand stays. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. Open the left hand to the sky into your twist. Look down to your right hand. Step the left foot back into your side plank. Keep your eyes down if you're trying to balance. Otherwise, send your eyes up towards your left palm. Inhale, arc your spine. Exhale to a neutral, straight spine. Inhale to arc, press the right hand, side body up. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, lift from the left rib cage, left arm forward. As you exhale, ground the hand, shift forward. Exhale, lower to your low plank. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, tuck or roll over the toes into your downward facing dog. Take a moment, any movement that you need. Circle the legs, three-legged dogs, paddle the feet. Take 2 more breaths in your downward facing dog to reset, recenter, and to control your breathing again. Rise to the tiptoes. This time, hop the feet forward, flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms back up and around, palms together. As you exhale, hands to chest and open beside the body. Keep yourself facing the front. I'm just moving to demo. As you inhale, sit down into your chair. Open the palms to the sky. Exhale, curl the hands to fists and pull down to your forearms. 2 more. Inhale, open the palms. Exhale, curl the hands to fists and pull. Last one. Inhale, open the palms. Exhale, curl down, even bend the elbows. And then keeping your chair, start to open and close your fingers as fast as you can, curling your thumbs around your fingers like you're gripping a ball in the palm of the hands. Little bounces in the legs for 3, 2, keep the fingers moving. 1, exhale, sit as low as you can. Inhale, release the hands, but keep them up. Exhale, hands to prayer at your chest and twist over towards the right thigh. 3 breaths in your prayer twist. Keep your knees glued together. Weight towards your heels, palms pressed together. Look up towards the ceiling over that right elbow. Sit a little lower. As you inhale back to the center, palms up into your chair. Exhale, pull the hands to the heart and twist to the left side. Grip your thighs, pull the right hip slightly back, and then really try to get the rotation into your ribs, into the middle back, and through the neck, gently through the head. As you inhale, come back to the center, Utkatasana, palms together, sit down into your chair. As you exhale, fold forward. This time, take your hands out under the shoulders. You can take a little step back with your feet. Shift your weight into your hands and step back. Otherwise, see if you can take a little hop, a little donkey kick, knees to chest. Inhale. As you exhale, shoot the legs back, bend the elbows, Chaturanga directly. Inhale, upward dog. As you exhale to your downward dog, take 1 breath cycle. We prepare for rocket style warrior 1 variation, so Surya Namaskar B variations. Right foot forward. Inhale the chest up, arms up, palms together. Exhale the hands down, right foot back. Shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog. As you exhale to your downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right heel to the midline. Rise up, palms together, look up. As you exhale, hands down, step the left foot back. Lower through your plank to low plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. As you exhale, Adho Mukha. 1 breath cycle to reset. Exhale the breath out. On your in-breath, right foot forward again. Inhale, spine up, palms up, look up. Exhale, hands down. This time, 3-legged flow, keeping the right leg up if you can. As you transition to your up dog, bring the foot down, and then exhale back into your downward dog. Left foot steps forward, right heel grounds. Virabhadrasana, left side. Inhale up. As you exhale, hands down. Leg stays up if you can. Lower Chaturanga. Flip the foot as you transition up dog. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. 1 breath cycle to reset. Last one. This time, 3-legged Chaturanga with the leg a little higher. Right foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, lift up. Exhale the hands down. Point the right toes. Feel free to take chin stand if you have it. Inhale, upward dog. As you exhale to your downward dog. Left side, last time. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana, look up. Exhale, hands down. Left leg back, point the toes a little higher, more weight into the arms. Transition upward dog. And as you exhale to your downward dog to stay this time. If you need to drop the knees to the floor, take a moment in your child's pose. Pause until your inhale and your exhale are even. Always letting the steadiness, the evenness of your breath be an indication of how much you're pushing yourself. If you lose the breath, then you have lost the practice. Rise to the toes, look forward. Inhale, walk or float, front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. As you inhale, sit down into your chair, palms together, Utkatasana. As you exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in. Release the hands, Tadasana. Coming into variation of a half crescent or variation on Ardha Chandrasana, interlock your fingers together, Kali Mudra. Take a little twist through the back or make a big circle with your fingertips, 1 in each direction, just opening up through your spine and your upper back. So you inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, move the body to the right side. Shift your hips over to the left, but grip your thighs in and press through your big toe mounds. Make sure you're not sinking or crunching into the right side of the body, but keep lengthening a little bit more in that underside of the waist. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, use your right hand, pull down on your top hand, deepen the stretch, deepen the bend. Inhale back to the center, press the feet, lift up taller. As you exhale, over to the left side. Hips shifting a little bit to the right, weight shifting a little to the right. Press from the big toes, grip thighs, belly in and up. Left waist is long. Arms squeeze into the ears. The arms are straight and the thumbs really press together. Last breath. A little deeper as you exhale, pulling down on that top hand. Inhale back to the center. Moving into a deeper back bend now. Slide the hands behind your ears. Shift your weight forward over your toes. Lift up the front of the thighs. Start to send the hands towards the wall behind you. Glutes slightly active to support the back bend. As you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Keep the grip of your arms. Lower halfway down into a flat back. So into our chair pose. The weight is really into the heels. Push your tailbone to the wall behind you, fingertips to the wall in front of you, like someone is pulling you from opposite ends. One more breath. And then exhale, release into your forward fold. Take your fingertips down, give the head a shake, no. Walk your knees in place, bend the legs. And then rising to the tip toes, coming into a toe squat. Forehead to the knees as you release your spine. So really stretch the upper back, relax the neck, and then bring the heels back down to the floor. First forward fold. Bend your knees, take your forearms behind your calves. You can hold the back of your ankles or cup your hands underneath your heels. Make sure you have the connection of your abdomen and your upper thighs. Look forward, inhale, and then exhale. Lift your sitting bones, your tailbone. Use your forearms, pull against your calves to start to bring your forehead towards your shins, closer to your ankles with each breath out. Uddiyana Bandha, so hollow belly shape as your weight shifts forward to the balls of your feet. So the thigh muscles are active and the stretch becomes deeper. Inhale, lift the head, release your hands, fingertips down. Heel toe your feet hip distance. Measure if you need 2 fists between your big toes. And then yogi toe grip around the big toes. Lift the chest one more time. Bend the knees if you need. Exhale this time, bend your elbows out to the sides as you use the arms towards the front of the feet to pull the body into the stretch the second time. Keep some space for your neck, shoulders back, elbows bent, big toes push down into the fingers. Engage the front of the hips, the lower belly to pull you deeper in your last moment in the pose. Inhale, lift up halfway. Keep your feet where they are. Take the right fingertips to the floor, open your left hand into your twist. And then rising to your right tip toes, right hand to the outside of your heel. Left hand can reach for your right hip in a half bind, or take a full bind if your shoulders feel open. Right hand reaching for the left fingertips or the left wrist. Once you have it, open your chest, twist to the ceiling, and look up with your eyes to the ceiling. Inhale, re-expand the hands. Exhale, release to the center, ragdoll for a breath. Left side when you're ready, left fingertips down, left tip toes down, right arm up, breathe in. Left hand to the outside of your left foot, the shoulder as low and underneath that thigh as you can. Half bind, right arm to left thigh, or all the way over towards the fingertips. Left hand holds the right wrist. Maybe that right arm moves a little straighter, twisting. Open chest to sky. Inhale, re-expand the arms. As you exhale, back to the center. Relax the head, relax the neck. You can stay facing the front of your mat. I'm moving to the side to demo. Widen your feet, the toes out the heels, and coming into Malasana, into our first prayer squat. Hands to prayer at your chest. Pause for a couple of breaths here just to slow down your breathing. Find a steady shape. You can stay here for the next movement. Otherwise, if this is comfortable for you, we slide the right shoulder towards the right knee, taking that right hand to the left ankle, left arm up to sky, or all the way over to the side of the mat. Holding here, keeping that chest open and rotated. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, other side, reaching that left hand to the right ankle, keeping the shoulders open, reaching that right arm up for the sky or over towards the side wall into that same side bending shape. Remembering this in the body for a later pose. As you inhale, come back to the center, palms together, back to a neutral prayer squat, neutral Malasana. As you exhale, take the hands to the floor, preparing for our first crow pose, first hand balance. Take the knees up and into your armpits. So really try to get the knees as high on your triceps as you can, not too wide. Shifting forward, eyes at the front edge of the mat and big toes together. If you have it, feel free to do headstand, handstand press, whatever's there in your practice. If you don't quite have it, just lift one foot at a time. Really keep one knee connected and try to lift one foot up for 2 breaths on each side, keeping one foot grounded so that you don't tip forward. If you're up, jump back. As you exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale into your upward dog. And as you exhale, into your downward facing dog. Preparing for a little scissor split forward. Rise up to your tiptoes. Look forward, bend the knees. Hop the right foot in between the hands. Raise the left leg and the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands back towards that right heel, coming into standing splits. So stay here, 5 breaths. Left hand stays. Try to get that right hand behind the calf like we did in our forward fold. Again, if you're comfortable on your hands, ground your hands and float up into handstand. I'm not demoing here, but I will on the other side. So staying, breathing any shape that you're in for 2. And as you exhale, step that left foot long behind you. Come into heel alignment, warrior 2, but keep your legs a little wider and open your arms to the side. So we're in a warrior 2 shape, but the legs are a little bit different, a little bit wider. Interlock your hands behind your back, breathe in. And as you exhale, fold to the long edge of your mat. So we take a humble warrior 2. So the right knee stays open, the bum stays pushing to the wall behind you, crown of the head to the floor, and pull the hands towards that left edge of the mat. So really get that movement of your bum and your hands in opposite directions so you don't topple forward. Staying in this version, and then releasing the hands, fingertips to the floor. Leg shape stays the same. Walk the fingertips out as long of arms as you can, and then let the chest and the heart melt towards the ground. Keep your right knee opening out, right over your ankle, but pull your right sitting bone back and plug it into your hip joint to get that deeper stretch across your piriformis. 1 more breath here. Just raise the head. Swivel the body now towards the front of your mat. Tuck the back toes. Open your right leg a little wider into an active lizard lunge. Breathe in. And as you exhale, soften that left knee to the floor. As you inhale, pull your hips and your heart forward. As you exhale, hips back, round your spine. 1 more time. Inhale, hips and heart forward. Exhale, hips back and the head down. Inhale, pull forward into your lizard stay. Stay up on your hands. If you're deepening, walk your fingertips a little bit more forward towards the front edge of your mat. If you're a little more open, bring your elbows to rest so they align in the same line as your right heel. Elbows, forearms can stay, or palms together into a prayer shape. Okay, if this is enough for you, stay where you are for about 5 to 7 more breaths. Otherwise, you can come back up to that left hand or keep your left elbow to the floor. Take your right hand to your right thigh, open and twist, looking up to the ceiling. If you're not on top of your back knee, pick up that left foot. Reach first for the outer edge of your foot and pull your foot in towards your bum. If the knee is locked at the foot, the heel touches all the way to your hips, then take your hand to your inner arch and press that foot down so that twists you into a deeper twist. A few more breaths. If you're still on both forearms, stay where you are. If you're in the twist, then move with me. Take the outer edge of the foot, and now this time kick your foot away from you like you want to press that left leg straight all the way to the floor. So you feel the opening in your chest, your right shoulder. You want to stretch in your neck, look down to the floor to get that stretch in the right neck. Really kick away. 2 more breaths here. Otherwise, if you have the open grip, take your hand to the inner arch, the big toe. Rotate through the shoulder and bring that foot towards your head into that open grip back bend. So you exhale, release. Take your hands down for a moment, lift that back knee, then coming into a side lunge position. Heel toe that right foot so it's aligned with your hips right in front. Left foot presses to the wall, so the foot presses to the back of the mat. Left arm is strong as you keep the side bend in your body. Right arm reaches to the back of the mat. Holding here, 1 more breath. We start to make this a flow through our side plank variation. As you inhale, press the right foot, reach the right arm forward. Exhale, the hips back down towards the floor, reach the back of your mat. 1 more. Inhale, hips up, hand forward. Exhale, left hip towards the ground. This time as you inhale, if you can, grab hold of your right big toe. Send the foot up to the ceiling so you keep your straight line plank. This is a little harder than if you're in the back bend version. So this one requires a little more strength, kicking that foot up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, take the right hand to the floor. Bring the right knee towards your right arm, right tricep. 3 breaths here. Otherwise, open the knee a little wider, bend your elbows, hold Chaturanga, or float that left leg up into your Kuntinyasana variation, option for chin stand if you have it. Step the feet back, jump back, Chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog. And as you exhale into your downward dog. Pause for a moment if you need in your downward dog or in a child's pose, but otherwise we immediately move into the left side. Bringing the feet together, rise tiptoes, looking forward. As you inhale, hop your left foot between your hands, raise your right leg up, standing splits. Walk your hands back, keeping the right hand where it is, left forearm wraps around the calf. 3 more breaths here, otherwise palms down, shift your weight forward, float up, invert, L-shaped handstand or legs together handstand if you're comfortable on your hands. If you're up on your hands, pull that left foot back forward in between your hands. If you're in standing splits, raise the chest, look forward. As you exhale, step your right foot long to the back. Heel to heel alignment. That right foot is a little bit wider to the edge and open into a warrior 2 shape. Interlock your hands to a fist. Roll the shoulders back, chest, heart gently up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold to the long side of your mat. So folding to the right edge, not so much to the front. So pushing the bum back, but really mind your front knee. Make sure that knee is right on top of your ankle. And you're using your glutes to keep the rotation in that left thigh as you press the left big toe mound down. Head a little closer, hands a little closer. Inhale, lift up just enough you can bring your fingertips to the floor, and then walk the body out towards the right diagonal of your mat. Left hip opens, left knee presses back as you pull that thigh bone, that femur bone back into your hip socket. Heart melts down, head presses down. As you inhale, lift the chest and the head. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Open your left foot wider, right tiptoes down, lizard lunge active for a breath. And then as you exhale, ground your back knee. Pull the hips forward, heart forward, inhale. Exhale, round your back, straighten your front leg. 1 more. Inhale, hips and heart forward, chest open. Exhale, shift your weight back, left toes up, forehead down. This time inhale into your neutral lizard. And as you exhale, walk your fingertips forward. Stay here, so stay here until we move into our side lunge if you're not taking a twist. Otherwise, start to bring your elbows down, aligned with your left heel. Forearms down, palms down, or hands together into a prayer shape. If you're starting to move into a twist, you can open your left toes a little bit out. Come back to your right hand if you need, otherwise forearm stays left hand to thigh, open and rotate into your twist. Make sure that your right toes are pointed and the toenails are down. If you're in your twist and you're forward of your right kneecap, pick up your back toes. You can catch your foot, hold from the inner arch, and then the top of the foot, pull the foot in as close to your bum as you can, stretching across the front of that right thigh. If you're deepening, if the foot is locked, if the heel touches your sitting bone, return to the inner arch and then press that leg gently back. It will increase the rotation without compromising the knee joint. And then just a few last breaths. If you can reach the outer edge of the foot, kick that foot back into your hand. Roll your left shoulder open, chest open, neck stretch, look down to the floor. Open grip version if you're grabbing from the big toe, circling mindfully through that left shoulder and bringing the foot towards the back of the head into a deeper back bend. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, release the foot, tuck the toes, turn the left toes back to the front, come back to the hands, and then coming into that side lunge, that side plank variation, heel toe your left foot over so the foot is in front of your hips. Let the right hip sink down. The right side of the body is stretching really strong in your right hand. Left arm is straight to the back of the mat. Inhale, press the feet, lift up. Exhale, back into your side body stretch. 1 more. Inhale, press the feet, reach forward through left arm. Exhale, sit the right bum down. This time, inhale, lift, stretch, stay here, or see if you can grab your left big toe, yogi toe grip. Kick forward to the side wall or up to the ceiling. Try to keep the body in one line instead of arcing your spine, so you're in your neutral plank shape. A little more challenging for the strength, for the core. Good. Looking up if you're balanced. Ground your left hand. Swivel around on those right tiptoes. Left knee to left tricep. Hold your plank, 3 breaths. Otherwise, bend your elbows, hold Chaturanga, or slide your left inner thigh into that left elbow, right leg up. Kundanyasana, step back, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. As you exhale to your downward facing dog to stay for a few breaths. If the breath is fast, if the heart rate is fast, then drop knees and take child's pose here. Always using our breath as our fundamental foundation before anything else. Preparing for another forward bend. You can slowly walk your hands to the back or shift a little forward and then slide the hands back, coming into Padahastasana. Make sure the feet are hip distance. This time, take the palms underneath the balls of the feet, lift the chest, looking forward, and then exhaling, bending the elbows back to the side edges of the mat, folding back into the legs. Keep pressing from your toes, so toes really pushing into the wrist creases as you lift and separate your sitting bones to the sky. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. With your breath in, come up to the fingertips, release the hands. Bring the heels together, point the toes outwards. We come into a toe squat. So walk your hands back and keep the knees opening out wide. Heels stay pressing together. Hands can rest in Shin Mudra on the thighs or bring the hands to prayer at your heart if you feel balanced. Try to weight your tailbone, your hips, and bring your spine up right on top of your pelvis. You can stay here, or if you're comfortable in your knees, release your hands down. Let the knees close a little bit, your toes close a little bit. So the heels now push to the floor at the back of the mat. Walk the hands forward and press your chest, your heart, and your head to the floor, just like we did in our Warrior 2 variation of Humble Warrior. So taking a moment to release the upper back and the wrists. If you're in this shape, stay for a few more breaths, about 5 more breaths. Otherwise, lift the chest, walk your elbows back. If your elbows meet the floor, measure, cross the fingers to the outside edges of your elbows. Bring your palms flat, so like a pincha forearm stand. Lift your hips as high as you can so you can wedge your knees up and into your armpits, just like our crow pose on our hands. This will be a little easier in terms of balance, but you might not feel like you have as much space. So start just by lifting 1 foot at a time. If you're lifting both feet, then see if you can bring your head closer to the floor and then get that push back. So you're rebounding with the earth. So stronger action into the rotator cuff and the shoulders. Release the heels down. Widen out your feet. With the toes open, the heels come in and back into your malasana at the back of the mat. Stay at the back of the mat. Just demonstrating here so you can see. You can stay here for about 10 breaths. Otherwise, slide the right hand down to the inner knee. This time, left hand up to the ceiling. Wrap the left hand behind the back hip. See if you can catch the right fingertips. Heel toe that left foot into your center. And then bringing that right knee up into the side of the body, we come to standing, into Standing Mericasana A. If you feel balanced and your bind is comfortable, then start to bring your heart forward towards your standing shin. Coming into Standing Pavanamuktasana. Keep that right knee pressing up towards the ceiling and into your hands. As you exhale, bring that foot down. Fingertips down, widen the feet back out, back into your neutral prayer squat, hands to prayer at your chest. Other side, left shoulder slides to the left knee, right arm up to sky. Stay here. The bind is comfortable. Wrap the right arm around. Reach for the left fingertips or towel. Look down, lift your hips so you can heel toe your right foot, your standing leg in. Slowly curling up, holding with the bind with the arms as you squeeze that left knee into your chest. Point the toes. So think Mericasana like it is in seated. Eyes steady. If you're folding forward, moving the heart towards that standing leg. The lift in the left leg is up into the arms. And then as you exhale, release that leg carefully to the floor. Toes first. Hands down, release your bind. Heel toe your feet back out wider. back into your neutral prayer squat, remaining the rest of you if you've stayed here. Okay. Hands to the floor. Release the feet, the heels in. For a moment, you can find a ragdoll. Release for a moment. When you're ready, take a yogi toe grip around the big toes one more time. This time, straight arms. So we're working on resistance, on really getting that resistance between hand and foot. So we inhale, we pull one foot up. We exhale, we step the foot forward. Inhale, lift the foot, step forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale to step forward. So try and get as much air time as you can. So keep the legs straight if your hamstrings are open, but bend the elbows. So there's a push and a pull between the big toe and the grip of the fingers. So really working a bit into the hip stability and into Uddiyana Bandha. So all the way to the front of your mat. And then once you arrive at the front, try to keep hold of the left big toe. Send your right foot out and over to the side. Keep yogi toe grip. Push through the ball of the foot and really pull through the hand, working the side glutes. As you exhale, bring that foot back down. Shift the weight into the right foot. Lift the left hip first, find the resistance, and then open that leg to the side. Push through the ball of the foot, pull back with the fingers. If you don't have that with straight legs, then bend the knee and hold the knee to modify. Exhale, hands back to the mat. Release the head and release the arms. Give a little wiggle through the shoulders and the head. We move into some handstand prep here again. If you have a different handstand preparation, feel free to take it. Otherwise, we do a butterfly donkey kick from downward facing dog. So when you start to feel ready, take the hands to the front of the mat and step your feet back into a little half downward dog. So the feet step back and we open them as wide as the mat, rising up to the tiptoes. Bend the knees and press your chest and your belly between your thighs. So your bum is as high as you can and your chest presses down, the hips lift up. So you can do little rocks as I'm doing here. Otherwise, once you rock, shift forward and see if you can tap your toes and then land back with the toes down, knees bent, chest pressing back. So take 3 of those toe taps, more if you're comfortable. Otherwise, try to hold your butterfly legs or Baddha Konasana in your handstand. If you have it, bring the soles and the heels together so you can push stronger. Knees back together, step back or shoot the legs back into Chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog. And as you exhale to your downward facing dog. Pausing for a breath, preparing to take those scissor splits of our legs one more time. Rise to the tiptoes, bend both knees, look forward. Inhale, hop the right foot forward, look up. Exhale, left foot to the back of the mat and pivot yourself around to the long edge into your neutral legs or prasarita leg variation. Come up to your fingertips, breathe in. As you exhale, start to walk your hands back, just like your push-up shape, your yogic push-up shape, chaturanga arms, eventually having the arms at right angles. Upper arms, lower arms at 90 degrees. Hands flat if you can. If you're tight in the legs, keep your knees bent, your heels dragging apart so you activate the bum muscles and the piriformis, the muscle between your sacrum and your sitting bones. One more breath in. One more breath out. As you inhale, come back forward. If you are modifying, take a second forward fold, grab your big toes and come forward into a second forward fold. If you are comfortable on your arms in headstand, then measure the distance of your elbows. Take a supported headstand, so a Baddha Sheersh-Asana. Hands interlocked together, and then lifting up just to a straddle. If you have your straddle, press your toes to the floor. Push the forearms into the floor and try to raise your head off the floor, like Sheersh-Asana C variation. Just for a couple of breaths, maybe even just a moment. So active legs pushing down. Exhale, release your feet back down. Release your hands, walk them forward. Take the hands onto the hips, and as you inhale, rise up to standing. Send your arms out wide to the walls. Exhale, hands back to the waist. One more time. Inhale the arms out wide. This time, as you exhale, interlock your hands to a fist behind your sacrum. Lift the chest, shoulders back, little back bend, and then exhale, fold yourself forward. Crown of the head and the hands move to the earth in front of you. If you don't quite have the grip of your hands, take a towel, but make sure you really do feel an opening in your chest and the front of your deltoids. Most important. Breathing 2 more breaths. Weight forward towards the toes, hands and head, pull forward each breath out. As you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Bring your feet closer and back into your prayer squat like you're preparing. This time we do a half prayer squat or Skandasana. So one leg is if it's in your prayer squat, the right leg is straight to the front of the mat. Frame that leg if you cannot comfortably bring your bum closer. Okay, otherwise we do the same thing that we did in our prayer squat. Left shoulder slides to the knee, right arm up to the ceiling, or bind if it's comfortable into your shoulders. Little open twist through the thoracic spine if you have the bind. And then as we move into our second version, the modification is a revolved Janu Sheersh-Asana. So if you cannot sit your right hip down, just pull your left leg in. So heel to groin and just fold into a side bend over that right leg. Otherwise, keep your left foot flat. The left bum will be off the floor. Take your right hand towards your ankle, and just like we did in our prayer squat earlier, we take that top arm to the sky, or left hand reaching all the way to the front of the mat. You don't have to reach your foot. So I'm reaching my foot, but you don't need to, so don't worry about it, but just keep the side bend and keep the left knee pressing back and a strong pull with your right arm. So you really need to be pulling on that shin if you're taking the side bend. One more breath. And then we release. Take the hands to the center. Mindful as you release, lift your weight out of your knees and over into the other side. So bend the right knee into that half prayer squat. Slide the left leg to the back of the mat. Make sure the knee and the toes face the ceiling. Keep your fingertips down to support you if you need. Otherwise, hands into a prayer, into Namaskar. Right shoulder slides down. Left hand lifts up into your side bend or into your bind. Any version you're in, make sure you do not feel sensations into your knees and that you keep the thigh bones rolling out. So we're really stretching into the groin, into the adductor muscles. Second version, support yourself on fingertips again. Revolve Janu Sheersh-Asana if you need. You can take that right foot in. Otherwise, we tip the other way. Take the left hand onto the shin, holding the ankle, pull, bend the elbow, right arm to the back of your mat, reaching. And then if you catch the foot, try to grab the outside of your foot and roll the chest and the spine open to the ceiling without rolling onto your back. 2 more breaths. If you're in this full shape, I personally like to rock my weight a little back and forth to see where I get a deeper stretch. Well, you'll have to explore and find that curiosity that we talked about in the beginning. Come back to the center, weight into your hands forward, out of the knees. Bring your feet back to a neutral shape. Hands to the floor, hold elbows, find ragdoll for a moment, move and bend the knees. Preparing to come into some standing balancing postures. Preparing for birds of paradise with figure 4, option for grasshopper pose. If you're at home, make sure you have a towel, a hand towel available to you. So keeping the right fingertips down, rise up to the right tiptoes. Take a towel in your left hand if you're working on the bind, if you have tight shoulders. And then wrap that left hand behind the back. Right shoulder underneath, just as we did before. Right hand catches the towel or the left wrist. So make sure you have a bind that is set and your shoulders are comfortable. We look down to the floor, weight into the left leg, pull that right knee up towards your shoulder, eyes focused on one point, ekagram, steady one-pointed focus. Only if you are balanced, your spine is straight and your chest is open, then work on straightening the right leg. Keep pulling back with that left arm, pulling back with your bind. As you exhale, rebend the knee. Try to keep your spine up, let go of the leg. Bring the hands to the heart in prayer, coming into a figure 4 shape. Right ankle crossed over the left knee. Right hand rolling that hip back and the left hand pressing against the sole of the foot. If it's comfortable or you don't feel a stretch, bring your hands to prayer at your heart and try to bring your forearms in front of your shin. Leveling your hips and keep that pull back in your right hip to really get the stretch into your right bum. Stay here for 5 more breaths. You can also come into tree. Otherwise, we twist over to the left. We connect the right foot to the right armpit. We bring the hands down. We shift forward and we kick that left leg towards the side of the mat. So coming into Grasshopper Maksikanagasana, you can work with both forearms, supporting that leg, that bottom thigh. Otherwise, try to balance on just the right elbow. Releasing the same way we came in, bring that foot back down, left foot down. And then coming back to standing, coming back into your figure 4 prayer squat. Rebalance, reset your focus. Press into the left leg, send the right foot out. Point the toes, find your balance. One breath in. As you exhale, release the feet down. Find a wide mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the prayer at the chest. Ready for the other side. Take a moment, pause if you need before the other side. Pause the video. When you're ready, circle the arms up, inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Fingertips to the floor. Coming into the other side, left hand stays down. We rise up to the left toes. Right arm opens to the front of the mat. Towel into your right hand if your shoulders are tight. Right hand to the lower back, reach for the left hip. Otherwise, catch the hand, catch the wrist, look down. Sit lower into your hips and then press, really stomp into your right foot to bring your spine up. Spine is straight and the chest is open if you're moving anywhere else. Pull that left arm back, press the thigh against that bind. So there's a resistance movement to keep that hip open. As you exhale, bend the knee. Try to keep the spine up. Hands to prayer at your chest. Left ankle crosses the right thigh into your number 4 shape. Left hand rolls the upper outer thigh out and open. Right hand to ball of the foot. Otherwise, hands to prayer, forearms in front of the shin. Stay here. Your other options, if you're not in a hand balance, that's absolutely fine. You can come up and take tree, or you can also choose to take a toe squat. If you're coming into tree, any version, feel free. If you're coming onto your hands, we twist to the front of the mat. We hook the left shoulder, so as close as you can to that left shoulder to the arch of the left foot. Bring the hands down, shift the weight forward, and then balance. So really get the press of your left foot into that tricep. That's what's going to keep your hips up and the core engaged. Right leg can extend to the side of the mat or to the back of the mat as you choose. If you have a practice of jumping back, feel free to take a vinyasa in between. Otherwise, back to the foot. Coming back up. Back 3 figure 4 chair, and then straighten that right leg, straighten the left to the side. Exhale into your mountain pose at the side of the mat. Close your eyes. Steady your breath. Exhale, hands to Namaskar at the chest. Step the feet back out wider, open the eyes, breathe in. As you exhale, right toes forward, circle your hands down into a lunge facing the front of the mat. Shift both hands to the inside of the right thigh, right shoulder underneath that knee, and then walk your fingertips out. So arms out to the sides of the mat. Stay here, eyes towards the front of the mat, or see if you can pull your head down towards the back of your right ankle. Option to lock head to the outside of the right ankle, or Ekapada Sheersh-Asana if you know it. Wrap the right arm around behind the lower back. Start to step forward, that left leg coming closer into your standing splits. Starting your standing splits, if you are comfortable, bend the left knee and see if you can find your foot with your right hand. Chest is opening into that little bit of a side bend, looking underneath the left armpit, coming into soldier pose. Breathing, the knee presses up to the ceiling and to the front of your mat as strong as you can. One more breath in. As you exhale, release that left foot, step to the back. I'm going to show the modified version of Viśvamitrasana here. So take the left knee to the floor. We squeeze that right thigh into the shoulder. We kick it to the front of the mat. We roll the left side of the body, the ribs, the head up and underneath that left armpit to rotate. So really with that right arm push back, squeeze the right leg in, and then you will be able to get that rotation and steadiness in the spine. If you have the full version, keep your left leg, your back leg straight, foot down. Exhale, release that right foot back to the floor. Pivot the left leg back out, toes down into your lunge. And then pull that left knee forward towards your left tricep. 5 taps. So you can see here as I'm tapping. Otherwise, tap the left knee into your tricep. Sit your bum down. Squeeze your right leg in. Half arm pressure. Circle that right leg around through crow. Step the feet back, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And as you exhale to your downward facing dog. Preparing for the left side. Rise up to the tiptoes. Bring the big toes together. Inhale, send your left leg up and back to your 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step forward between the hands. You do a little bit more handstand prep here. So pivot yourself over to the long edge of your mat. Or you might want to pause and move yourself to a wall. So working with weight shifting, pressing, preparing for handstand press. Hands in downward dog shape. Feet into your wide V shape. Shifting forward, you can take little hops as I'm doing here. My handstands were not so on today, so you can take little toe taps like we did before. And then our butterfly legs, not tipping over. Use the wall if you need. Otherwise, if you're in that shape of wide legs, of your V shape, see if you can shift to one side like a cartwheel. Try to bring your toes as close to the floor as you can, and then do it to the opposite side. So like you're cartwheeling out of your handstand. You can do that a few times. As I said, my handstands were not on this day, so I gave up. And when you're ready, turn back to the front of your mat, coming into that low lunge with the hands to the inside of the left foot. Left shoulder underneath your thigh, behind your knee. Arms out wide, fingertips down. Bow towards that left heel, towards the ankle. You can hook the head all the way to the outer ankle if you're comfortable in leg behind the head. When you're ready, start to lift the head out and around. Keep the right fingertips out to the side in that same shape. Left hand circles and reaches for the left lower back. Hop your right foot in. Raise that right leg to the ceiling. Stay in your standing splits, just with a half bind. Otherwise, bend that knee. Try to catch the inner arch, the big toe side of the foot. Press that knee up to the ceiling. Really try to push it forward to the front of your mat. And look underneath that right armpit towards your hand. Soldier's pose. Breathing, one more inhale. One more exhale. And preparing for Viśvamitrasana, our side plank version. Step the right foot behind you. Keep your left shoulder underneath. If you bring that right knee down, do what we did before. Knee to floor, open the toes. Otherwise, come into that warrior 2 shape we did before when we were in humble warrior. Left hand comes to the outer edge of the foot, left foot. And then we lift the foot, we take the right hand to the outside edge, we kick forward, and we rotate into that full shape and variation. So we have the side bend, the strength of that left arm, and the opening, the rolling twist through the thoracic spine. Release that left foot down, right hand down. Step your right foot closer. 5 taps, right knee up into your right tricep. So 4 more, moving with your breath. Otherwise, tap that knee, rest it on the tricep, lift your left foot forward into half arm pressure. Extend out to half Tadasana, circle it around. Jump back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhaling to your downward facing dog. From here, we come to a child's pose. So everybody bring your knees down, rest the hands, the head. You can stay for 10 breaths in child's pose. Last option for pincha or headstand. So if you prefer to take either one, we will not practice Sheersh-Asana headstand at the end of this class, so now is your chance. Okay, so if you're working on any inversions, feel free to bring them in here for about 10 breaths. If you are not comfortable or not sure of the entry into an inversion, stay in child's pose. Just keep the hips to the heels, rest. If you're taking forearm stand, feel free to take any variation, scorpion if you have it. If you're in headstand, Sheersh-Asana, same, try and stay for about 10 breaths. If you know dolphin push-ups or half headstand, you can take any of those. You can check out some of our other videos that have headstand prep, to see what you can use to work on to prepare. have finished any version that you're in. We meet together in child's pose. If you've been in your child's pose this entire time, that's absolutely great. Just stay where you feel your breath is steady and where you can create a transition to seated series that is right for you. When you're ready, roll up, sit onto your heels. Shift the weight back, hands forward, step back, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhaling to your upward dog, exhaling to your downward facing dog. Look forward, jump through to sitting, step through, come to your seat. Bring the legs forward to the front of the mat. So the left foot will be an inward rotation. Otherwise, if it's not comfortable, then do as I'm doing here. Bring the left foot to the right inner thigh, coming into Janu Sheersh-Asana legs. Otherwise, try to keep that left leg in internal rotation. And take the hands either to the thighs or to prayer at the chest. As you take a few breaths to center yourself for seated series, try to ground your left sitting bone a little stronger into the earth. Taking one more breath in. One more breath out. And catch your towel if you're practicing from home. We draw that right leg up. So a couple of options. You can take your towel around the ball of your foot. You can just hold onto the back of your calf muscle. Otherwise, taking more of an Ashtanga grip around the sole of the foot. Left hand holding the right wrist and drawing that leg in towards the chest. If you can, bring your chin to your shin. Look up towards that right big toe. If you run into your rib cage, then bring that leg a little bit more to the right side of the body so that you get a deeper hamstring stretch. And then first option, take the left hand to the outer edge of the foot and twist. Second option is to bring that right leg behind the shoulder. Either take your towel around the foot, if you're not so open in the hamstrings, or grab the actual inner arch of the foot and we move into sundial, into compass. So kicking that leg to the side of your mat, rotating, twisting to the left, looking underneath that left armpit. So really get the kick and the push and the pull between your hand and your foot to get the rotation through the left side of the body. Taking one more inhale. And as you exhale, start to release that leg. If you're modifying, just take the right foot to the inside of the left knee and twist, more of a deer pose. Otherwise, right foot into half lotus, drawing that right hand around, catching the big toe. Left hand goes underneath the right knee, palm down. And then we really press that knee down into the left hand to twist and open through the thoracic spine. Moving into a bound half lotus twist. Taking two more breaths. Focusing on drawing the rib cage to the right, gently through the neck and the eyes, looking to the back of the mat. Starting to release the posture. If you're in an internal rotation of the left leg, gently shift to the right and extend that left leg forward. If you're not in half lotus, you can just fold forward into Janu Sheersh-Asana. Otherwise, try to keep that right leg in half lotus. Try to keep your bind. Slide your left leg closer. Grab hold of the big toe or the back of the calf and start to extend that leg into a balancing posture. It takes a little more core control to keep the shape of the legs and to stay balanced on the sitting bones. Holding for one more moment. And then as you exhale, we start to release, bend that left knee. Bring the heel down, slide the leg forward. Keep that right leg in close to you. Draw the heel towards the third eye. If you're not quite in this shape, then just make a figure four shape, like a little cradling of the baby, holding the foot, holding the knee. Otherwise, second version of sundial. So this time we draw the right knee over the shoulder, we kick the leg forward, and we bring the right fingertips to the front. Pointing the toes, we shift back. Right hand grabs the left foot, and we kick that forward as well. A little more conscious balance, core control, and twisting action through the rib cage. This is a challenging pose, so you can just work on the upper leg first until you have it, or you can just turn this into a twist if this is a little too complicated for the coordination to figure out. Good. Releasing both legs together, release the twist. Bringing the toes to the floor, slowly roll onto the back for some core work. Little variation on Pilates series of 5. Take a moment, rock side to side. Release the lower back. And this entire time, try to imprint your lower back to the floor. Raise the head, draw the right knee in, and then switch to the left. Inhale and switch. Exhale and switch. Right knee and then left. Right knee and then left. Right knee and then left. One more time. Bring it in. Bring both of the knees together into the chest, into a little ball. Shoulder blades down, head is up. Inhale, extend arms and legs out. Exhale, back into your ball. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, arms and legs out. Exhale, knees to the forehead. Inhale, arms and legs out. Exhale, pull into a ball. Inhale, pulling out. Exhale, pulling in. Pull the right leg twice, straight, left leg, and then change. So pull, and change. Pull, and change. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Pull, and switch. Left leg for 2. Right leg for 2. Left leg for 2. One more right side. One more left side. Bring both of the feet together. Hands interlock behind the head. Moving into leg lowers. Good. So shoulder blades stay down. The head is up. Lower back is imprinted onto the mat. As you inhale, lower the legs towards the floor. Exhale, back just to perpendicular. Inhale to lower. Don't touch the floor. Exhale, back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, legs up. 2 more. Inhale to lower. Exhale, legs back up. Last one. Inhale to lower. Lower back stays to the floor. Exhale, back up. This time, keep the legs up. Twisting. Take the left elbow towards the right leg. And then switch. Very slow and controlled. Try to get that elbow outside the knee. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist. Try to keep both legs straight. Inhale, center. Exhale, scissor split and twist. And then moving into a little faster bicycle twisted sit-up. Keep switching elbows to your knees. Inhaling and switch. Exhaling and switch. Inhale and switch. Exhale and switch. Release, rock the body up and down. Send the legs forward. If you need to adjust sacrum, come into Navasana, into your boat. Bringing the toes at the level of the eyes. If you're deepening, arms up beside the ears. Keeping the straight line of the spine all the way extended through the fingertips. One more breath in. And as you exhale, lower the heels, fold the body forward, release the spine for a moment. Inhale, bring yourself up. You can keep yourself to the front of the mat. I will shift myself just so you can see as we move into our last arm balances. So pulling the right knee in, preparing for elephant's trunk. Right knee in towards the armpit. You can make that same number 4 shape just to open up the hips. Stay here if you're not working on your hands, if you're feeling fatigued. Otherwise, draw that heel towards the third eye. And then bring that knee behind the right shoulder. Keeping that knee squeezing in. Keep the right elbow a little bent. Bring the torso forward. And then see if you can take little pops, lifting everything up. Exhaling back to the floor. If this is enough for you, then stay. Do about 4 more of those. Otherwise, cross the bottom leg on the top. Kick the legs out and then bend the elbows into Ashtavakrasana. Looking towards the toes. So the elbows are bent, squeezing, and the legs are straight, squeezing into that arm. Option transition. Bring that bottom leg under, extend it back, Kundanyasana. If you're facing the front, you can jump back, take a vinyasa. Otherwise, just release the legs out. Step your feet back to plank. Exhale, lower Chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog. As you exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Look forward. Exhale. Jump through, step through to seated Dandasana. Preparing for the other side. This time the right foot bends back beside the hip. Otherwise, keep that foot in external rotation. If you can, try to keep that internal rotation to release a bit of the work in the hips. Take the hands to the thighs or hands to prayer at the chest. Hold and breathe here for a moment. When you're ready, pull that left leg in. Take a towel, take the back of the calf or more Ashtanga grip, holding the opposite wrist around the ball of the foot, kicking up. Keeping the eyes towards the toes as you draw the shin towards your face. That leg comes all the way in, open it a little bit more to the left edge of the rib cage so you get a deeper stretch. If you're not moving into compass, just take the right hand to the foot and twist, hold here. Otherwise, take the heel towards the third eye for a moment, and then take that left shoulder to the back of the thigh, squeeze that knee into the arm. Take the left fingertips down, right hand to the outer edge of the foot or towel, and then kick out. So really get the squeeze of your arm and your thigh against each other, just like we did in our plank variation. Use that to roll the right chest and the ribs open. Look up underneath that arm. One more inhale. As you exhale, start to release. Bring that foot, left foot, just to the inside of the right knee, or left foot to the top of the right thigh in your half lotus. If you're binding, left hand around, grab the big toe. Right hand, palm down underneath the left knee. The arm is straight as you twist, and the left knee presses down into the hand to open more through the rib cage and the middle back. Twist through the shoulders, the chest, neck, and then the eyes. As you exhale, start to release. Take a little shift into your left hip. Release your right leg forward now. Left foot to inner thigh fold. Otherwise, if you were in half lotus, bring it back in. Take the bind. Slide your right foot closer. Yogi toe grip around the big toe. Kick that leg forward. Keep the arm straight, leg straight in balance. Eyes towards the right big toe. Steady drishti. Steady balancing. So you start to release, let go of the leg. You can bend the knee as you bring that right leg back down. And then find a little cradle of your left leg, either a number 4 shape. You can stay here, just rocking the baby, rocking your leg. Otherwise, bring that heel back, maybe to the top of the head. Slide the knee underneath, over your left arm. Left hand forward and kick the left leg forward to the front of the mat. So it's still the same as our compass, just the twist is a little bit deeper. You can stay just with that top leg, otherwise slide the right leg in. Grab the outer edge of the foot from the top, and then really kick both legs to the front. Grip your thighs in, squeezing them towards your midline, and that will allow you to twist up and underneath the right arm. Breathing in. Exhaling, starting to release out. And this time, second core work. Slide your legs forward. Bring your hands just behind your bum. Keep a little arch through your spine, so the spine's a little bit more in a back bend, like a fish pose. Send the legs up to the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, lower one leg down towards the floor. Inhale, legs together. Exhale, lower right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower left. Inhale, up together. Exhale, this time both legs down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, legs lower. Last one, inhale, legs up. Exhale, legs lower, hover, hold. Chest up, keep that arch in the back. And then bring the legs down, swing the body forward, shooting yourself forward into your forward fold for a moment. Release the spine, release the back. Coming back up, moving into our arm balance on the left side. Bring that left leg back in. You can take that number 4 movement in the leg one more time, stay there. Otherwise, try to get that knee behind your left shoulder. Squeeze the leg into your arm. Take the hands down a little in front of your hips round your back, shift your torso forward, and just do a few pops. Try to get both legs off the ground if you can. If you have both legs off, right ankle over the left, kick to the left side, bend the elbows like Chaturanga arms, Ashtavakrasana, breathing. You can just hold here for a few more breaths, otherwise swing that right leg through, shooting it back, Kundanyasana. Shoot the legs back, Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale to upward dog. And as you exhale to your downward facing dog. Looking forward to your hands. Step through or jump through to your seat, Dandasana. And slowly lower onto your back for 3. Rolling down 2. All the way down to your back on 1. Moving into our back bend, so if you have your own back bend practice, feel free to take it. Otherwise, taking a little move of the knees to the right and then to the left, just a little twist, helps open up the spine before our back bends. We're pairing with one set of modified bridge, Setubandhasana. Bring the soles of the feet down really close to the bum. Touch the heels with the fingertips. And then pressing into the feet, lift the hips. Try to recruit your shoulder blades at the same time if you can. So squeeze them and lift the chest, holding onto the inner arches of the ankles, or interlock the hands into a fist. Press that into the earth and raise the hips. So really pressing the feet forward to the front of your mat so the hamstrings are a little more active and not overusing the back of the glutes. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release your hands and release your hips. So repeat bridge if that's a deep enough back bend for you. Take it 2 more times. Try to hold for 7 to 10 breaths. Otherwise, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Take the hands up, palms down, fingers to the front. For a moment, balance on the crown of your head. And then take the hands shoulder distance. Make sure your wrist creases are aligned with the back edge of your mat. Press the hands and the feet equally and press up into your wheel pose. 5 breaths in the first set. In between each 5 breaths, we will bring the crown of the head down to the floor and move the hands 1 step to the front of the mat. So after you've been in your wheel pose for 5 breaths, and gently exhale, bring the crown of the head down. Walk your hands closer to the front edge of the mat. Press back up. Deeper back bend, 5 breaths. If you practice coming to standing or dropping back, feel free to start to bring that in. Otherwise, we're going to take one more last version of our Urdhva Dhanurasana on the hands. So after your 5 full breaths, bring the crown of the head back down, walk the hands closer. And this time, if you feel balanced, see if you can tap your right hand towards your right knee and then your left hand towards your left knee. You can take one more time each side, just getting comfortable moving the hands closer to the feet. When the wrists start to give you a little signal to come down or the breath starts to become unsteady, slowly release onto your back, widen your feet, and drop your knees together. And breathe into your belly. Take deep, full abdominal breaths. Noticing if your heartbeat has sped up or if your breathing rate has sped up. And stay with the feet grounded, or feel free to take a moment in a happy baby, drawing the feet towards the ceiling and bending the knees and taking a little rock side to side, starting to neutralize the spine. We'll start to slow down the practice from now on. So start to lengthen your breath a little more intentionally as we close. Take the knees to the chest, start to gently rock up and down your spine a few times. Just getting rid of any little cracks, any little creaks that occur in the spinal ligaments. And gently send your legs forward. You can bend your knees if you feel sensitive in the lower back or the hamstrings. Hold the ankles or the outer feet and come forward just enough to the point where the spine is neutral, is straight. When you feel ready, sending the sitting bones a little bit further to the back of your mat and gently folding forward into your Paschimottanasana. Let the neck relax a little more. Still staying active through the pelvic floor and the lower belly. As our next inversion still requires some support from the core and bandhas. Take a couple final breaths, a little deeper, maybe the head, the chest, walk closer to the feet as we relax the spine more and prepare for shoulder stand. As you start to feel ready, bringing the spine slowly up. Lying on the back for me, I always use a blanket in shoulder stand. It helps with my neck if you have any neck sensitivity. So blanket under the shoulders, not under the head, or just spine flat to the floor. Bringing the palms down, engaging the front of the belly, the front of the hips, pressing the hands, the upper arms to gently bring the toes behind the head. Bring your shoulder blades in closer to your spine, one at a time. So feel that retraction of your shoulders towards the spine. Once your neck is centered, draw the hands onto the lower back. Bring the legs up to the ceiling, coming into Salamba Sarvangasana, into your shoulder stand. You can walk the hands a little closer towards your bra line, towards the rib cage. Point the toes, squeeze the bum, like you're pressing the legs against the wall in front of you, and like your toes are being pulled towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Make sure there's space in the throat, space to swallow. If that's enough for your spine, stay in shoulder stand. Otherwise, take the hands interlocked to a fist. Slowly lower the legs to the back of your mat. Toes can stay tucked or pointing the toes into your halasana, into your plow pose. Still keeping a lift of your sitting bones, of your bum towards the ceiling. Taking a few more breaths. Keep pressing your hands towards the front of the mat. Keep a little squeeze, active squeeze of your shoulder blades towards your spine. This already feels like enough. Stay in your plow. Or start to bend your knees. Bring the knees to close the ears. And the hands can wrap around to hold the feet or the backs of the knees, coming into ear pressure into Karna Padasana. If your knees meet your ears, gently use them to press the ears closed so you get that sense of pratyahara, of withdrawal of the senses in your own little cocoon, listening deeper to your breath. Start to feel ready, take the hands back to the lower back. Bring the legs up to the ceiling. If you're taking an unsupported shoulder stand, then interlock your hands just like you did in your plow. Press the hands down and really try to bring the feet up onto the wall in front of you, so towards the front of the mat. Really activating your bum, your hamstrings, your bandhas to bring the legs up, up, up. Otherwise, the hands stay on the lower back, just like we did in our first version of shoulder stand. Last few moments, if you've released before this, that's fine. Just lie on your back. And then we all meet you anyways, taking the hands down, slowly lowering the bum. Once the hips are down, little wiggle of your forearms beside the hip bones and slowly lower the legs down all the way down to the floor. Lying on your back in Shavasana without moving for a few breaths. Try not to move the neck. Swallow a few times into the throat. Letting the spinal ligaments neutralize, return to their natural shape. When you start to feel ready, if you have a blanket, remove it out. Slide the forearms a little bit underneath each side of the bum, cradling the pelvis. If you have lotus in your practice, you can take the right leg and then the left full lotus option for the legs. Otherwise, keep your legs straight, point your toes to the front of the mat. And then pull the crown of the head towards your bum. So try to slide your head in. Gently keeping the crown of the head to the floor as you shift your weight to your forearms. Keeping the back bend, the opening in the cervical spine and the throat. Keeping the mouth very gently closed so you get that stretch on the bottom part of your chin. Breath is steady. Gazing towards the tip of your nose. This is a deep enough back bend for you. Stay here for about 5 more breaths. Otherwise, moving into Utthana Padasana, sliding the feet in, pointing the toes, extending the arms first at about 45 degrees, and then the legs at 45 degrees as well. This will be a little more engagement in the belly and the back. So make sure if you're taking the second option that the breath is still stable and controlled. You exhale, release the legs down, hands to the back of the thighs, raise the head, and then exhale, gently release onto the back. Take a moment, hug your knees, move side to side, releasing the spine, maybe turning the head side to side, releasing the neck, and then gently rocking up and down your spine a few times. So again, hearing those little crackles, little creaks in the spine, rocking until they disappear, until the ligaments have reset. As soon as those have released and the spine feels released, hug the knees to your chest, still lying on the back. Bring yourself lying down towards a Shavasana shape. Taking opposite elbows above the head, move the bum a little bit to the left side of your mat. Slide your feet to the right edge. And then wiggle your spine, your arms, your shoulders over to the right edge as well. So you're creating a banana shape, a half moon shape with the body. If you need a little lock for your legs, cross your right ankle over the left. I find that tends to keep the legs a little more in place. And for me, intensifies a bit the stretch I feel in the outer left hip. If it's too much to hold onto your elbows, just let go and let the arms relax. Let the head turn to either side. So really slowing down the practice now. This is our last posture before final relaxation. So you can start to let go of my instructions. You can relax your belly, let go of contracting the abdominal muscles, and focus a bit more on breathing into your belly, into the sides of your rib cage, especially into that left lung, the more expanded side of the body. Breathe into the left side, the left armpit, closing your eyes if they're not already. Take 2 more breaths on this side. As you finish your next breath out, gently release the pose. Relax your arms and your legs into Shavasana for a moment. Just lie on the back with the arms and legs open without moving, just observing and absorbing. When you feel ready, move your hips a little to the right edge. Take opposite elbows, slide your legs to the left. Wiggle your spine, your arms, your shoulders. So as you move into that half crescent shape, make sure both of your hips are down and both of your shoulders are down. And you don't feel any compression into your lower back. This pose should feel very comfortable, very relaxed in your body. That deeper stretch for the right leg. Just cross your left leg, your left ankle on top of the right. Try to keep your feet relaxed. there's no effort necessary to keep you in the shape in your body. Relax the belly. Relax the chest, the throat. Starting to breathe more consciously, slower, longer breaths with every cycle. Breathing a little more into that right side body, the right lung. Observing, exploring, noticing if you feel sensations stronger in any part of the body over another. Eyes closed, more attuned into sensations that you feel, more in tune to thoughts that start to come into the mind. As we slow down movement, sometimes the mind will become a little more active, and that's okay. Observe, notice, without any judgment of yourself. As you exhale, start to release the pose, release the arms, the legs. Wiggle yourself back into a neutral shape for a moment into your Shavasana. And last pose before final relaxation, bring the knees up to the chest, give them a hug. Wrap your arms around, try to hold opposite elbows or hold the bottom of the feet. Raise the head up towards the knees. Curl your toes in, curl your eyes closed, squeeze your face. Squeezing your face as small as you can, squeezing everything in as small as you can, taking a deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, sliding everything down to the mat and to your final relaxation. Closing your eyes, letting yourself soften down. Try to stay here for at least 10 minutes so you can fully allow yourself to absorb the effects of your practice. You can fully allow your parasympathetic nervous system to take over. After all of this activity, letting the body settle in, letting your relaxation response take over, to restore, to absorb, and to prepare for meditation.